Hi, everybody. This is Canine Conversations, and I'm Connie Dwyer, and I'm here today with my cohort in dog behavior, Sarah Hamburger. And we thought we'd do some short podcasts on different behaviors that you see dogs expressing themselves, because that is their language, or part of it is their body. So one of the things we thought we'd talk about is the ShakeOff. And as I was looking around researching, I've heard many times what a ShakeOff is from people that I just chat with. Anything that you read online is usually just people expressing their either what they've heard before, what they think it means, and there's not a ton of research. But we thought we'd at least educate people on what is out there and what we know. So, having said that, we were just talking a little bit before, and one of the things I Googled was, a ShakeOff is a relief of stress, right? So I think it showed the person hugging their dog and kissing their dog and hugging their dog, and when they stopped, the dog pulled away and did a ShakeOff. And that was, they must be stressed out, even though this is their owner hugging them. And, so that's one, I guess, determination of what that means. And I've seen that, in stressful situations. I think they do shake off when they're, I find in class too, most people say, oh, my dog's got a bug on them or something. They think there's something in their ear. So, and it could be, right? They could be shaking off because they're wet and they're want to get that off of them or whatever. But that's not really body language like we're talking about. So what have you seen, Sarah, that you can share with us?
Well, I think that the good point you made is that a lot of people have a lot of different ideas. There's some research based, on shake-offs and that behavior. And I definitely do, like you said, have seen it a ton of times in dogs in nervous situations. They're definitely stimulated by stress. They're a little nervous. My dog was nervous, a nervous dog. She did it all the time. Like you said, she was my dog for 9 years. So, but I've also seen it where the dog is excited. And a shake off is basically a dog looks like it's shaking water off of its fur, right?
Right.
And which can occur in nervous situations, but I've seen it occur when I've picked up the leash to go for a walk. So I also think it's relevant to look into that aspect of a shake-off as well. And I have a lot of times, if I'm teaching someone, I've described the shake-off as something of nervousness or kind of like goosebumps, where you can get goosebumps when you're nervous and you can get goosebumps when you're excited too. Mm-hmm. So that's definitely something to think about when you're observing your dog's behaviors. And that's kind of my experience. I've seen it, observers of body language, you start to notice these behaviors, and then you start to notice them even deeper on different scenarios. So I think that's an interesting aspect to look at as well with shake off.
Yep. And I've noticed it if with my own dog, if I say something really loud, she'll shake off. So, and I don't know, I wouldn't say she's stressed with that, but it's just some kind of a processing sign, I guess, that they're telling us. But so that's another situation I've seen it in, which isn't always common, where I see other dogs in a class or that type of setting. I don't know that our voices are that much different, but so that's one I've seen that's a little bit different, I think, than what you hear people writing or see what people are writing about or hear what they're podcasting about. But I did find a good research article that I'll put the link to at the bottom of all of these podcasts for people to look into it, because that really was the only one that I found that has discussion on body language. I didn't see shake off exactly, but some of the other ones that we're going to talk about were in there. And then they have references so that people have done studies of some type to get this, analysis of what these different behaviors mean. So I'm not sure if there's anything else we want to add to ShakeOff, or if we want to get into a different body language.
Well, I think what we can leave the audience with is, a question like we were talking about before. When you are just learning about body language, or just observing dog body language more in depth, notice when your dog does a shake off. And you can start to kind of build a map of what that behavior is telling you. If it is just picking up the leash and your dog shakes off and then you go for a walk, like notice if that's like a repetitive behavior that it does. And notice if like you're petting your dog, or, you're brushing your dog or trying to clip their toenails, like is there a shake off involved? And just compare the two. And then notice if there's other scenarios where they might do a shake off that we haven't discussed on this video. And that's really a good starting point to, maybe build your own idea of what the shake off can mean, because every dog's different, right? So they can learn to shake off in situations that aren't normal for other dogs. And I think that's kind of a cool aspect, insight to look at with your dog as an individual as well. Dogs have evolved with humans over 300,000 years, right? Or 30,000 years, which is
30,000,
crazy.
yeah, I think, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. And they've learned to adapt to us, to living with humans, and they've developed different body languages. I know there's one study where they said that eye contact with humans isn't normal, and the dog, or eye contact with each other is not normal in a dog's world. But you look at your own pet, like they will look you right in the eye a lot of the time. That's something that they developed over time and evolved to. So all that kind of stuff is pretty interesting, I think.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So, yeah, that's a good idea to have people do their own investigation and, read the research, and also post down in the comments. And you can ask questions, or just let us know what you've seen your dog shake off to. And, the more, that's what they do with all of these, I think, would get a population of dogs that they're sampling from, and different situations, and see when they shake off. And then you're just making some determination. You 100% will never know exactly why, what it means. Yeah, because, we know that. Can't talk to them. So
all you can do is put the puzzle pieces together and keep building that until
right.
you get the biggest picture that you can find.
Right.
But so if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. And a good idea would be to observe your dogs and see when they do shake-offs, if they do shake-offs, and in what scenarios they do, and compare them and post them below in the comments.
Sounds good. And again, I will have the link to that research article. And don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that little bell so you'll know when we're going to be doing these, because we'll be doing quite a few in this series. So with that, we'll say goodbye and see you soon.
See you soon.